It doesn't matter if your tool of choice is a daguerreotype, a digital camera, or a modern cell phone. People have been capturing the unknown and mysterious on tape since the beginning of the inventions. Question for y'all: what is your go-to anecdote or tale when it comes to weird stuff in photos? I think my personal favorite whodunit series will forever be the Connolly Fairies, even though they've sadly been debunked over the years. But let me know your answer in the comments, and how about we talk about some photos that are a little harder to disprove together. Let's venture together into the realms of the unidentified, where a photograph frozen in the storybook of time sparked a cascade of speculation and intrigue. Dated back to the sepia-tinged days of September 1971, this particular image, captured by aerial photographer Sergio Loaiza during a routine land survey over Costa Rica, continues to engage the age-old debate surrounding unidentified flying objects, UFOs, UAPs, whatever you call them. As Sergio soared over the lush landscapes, surveying the canvas below for the prospective construction of a hydroelectric project near the Areno volcano, little did he anticipate that a silent visitor from the cosmos would make a cameo in his frames. The photograph, initially unremarkable, encapsulates a saucer-like object poised mysteriously between the heavens and earth, a metallic disc reflecting the sunlight against the vast backdrop of rainforest and lake. Claimed to be the pinnacle of UFO imagery, this snapshot has become a digital talisman, traversing the virtual landscapes of social media, eliciting gasps and sparking a lot of discussions. The story unravels further as Esteban Carranza, a Costa Rican citizen, steps into the limelight, wielding the contact copy of the original negative housed in the National Archives of Costa Rica. Acquired from his uncle, who in turn received it from the National Geographic Institute, Carranza has become the torchbearer of this peculiar artifact. So the photograph, taken at an altitude of 10,000 feet, reveals this shiny metallic enigma just suspended in the air. The Aero Commander F-680 aircraft, the makeshift time capsule of that moment, unintentionally hosted a guest. They transcended the realms of conventional explanation. So Loaiza's automated 100-pound camera, which, whew, that's heavy, clicking away at 20-second intervals, immortalized this fleeting interstellar rendezvous. The image lay dormant, nestled in the archives, until Carranza, spurred by a sense of disclosure, released it to the world. This act of unveiling serves as a testament to the collaborative spirit that fuels the quest for the unknown. Carranza's revelation triggered a digital resurgence, and the photograph, like an otherworldly relic, rekindled its silent conversation with a world yearning for cosmic mysteries. However, the allure of the photograph extends beyond mere visual spectacle. It carries with it a lot of credibility, as claims do persist that it has weathered the relentless storm of skepticism. UAP media, utilizing the image, boldly asserts that the photograph has stood the test of time, remaining unscathed by the arrows of debunkers and skeptics. An object estimated to span the impressive range of 120 to 220 feet in diameter, suspended in the atmospheric ballet of 1971, continues to defy easy classification. It has become a focal point for experts and researchers, who over the years subjected it to rigorous analysis. A lot of Costa Rican UFO researchers, alongside luminaries such as Dr. Richard Haynes and Dr. Jacques Vallée, lent their expertise to unravel the enigma. And their consensus, emboldened on the digital corridors of UAP media, resonates an object, not a product of double exposure or deliberate fabrication. And trust me, I might not be a complete expert, but I do know a good double exposure photo when I see one. I took a lot of photography in university. I do want a good camera. This is not that. How about we discuss a famous airport incident next? Jonathan Lace, spokesman for the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, explained the organization believes the most compelling footage of anomalous activity ever was taken by a Homeland Security aircraft over Puerto Rico on April 25th of 2013. I'll let all of you make up your own minds in the comments, but bear with me here. The visuals were captured at around 9:20 p.m. on that fateful day as an unknown object flew across the runway of the Rafael Hernandez Airport in Aguadilla and was caught on infrared camera by a U.S. Customs and Border Protection aircraft, the footage of which was leaked to the SCU by an anonymous source. That's kind of how things go around here. The eerie evidence shows an object believed to be up to 5 feet in length, moving at speeds of up to 120 miles per hour, getting close to the ground before seemingly plunging into the ocean and splitting into two. So in a 50-page report, the SCU has made notes that no birds, no balloons, no aircrafts, no known drones have that capability. Also, it didn't disturb the water when plunging beneath and then re-emerging from the surface, which this is a phenomenon known as transmedium travel. SCU investigators said the object appeared to be of unknown origin after spending 1,000 hours doing research. It is claimed that the pilots of a DHC-8 turboprop spotted a red light over the ocean. Then they contacted the control tower, who told them they didn't know what it was, and then the object's lights went out as it approached the shore. The plane then engaged its thermal imaging camera and went on to follow the UAP. The SCU report court concluded by saying that the video is the best documentation of an unknown aerial and submerged nautical object exhibiting advanced technology ever seen. They have since called for the release of more data from the Pentagon after the release of the Tic-Tac, Gimbal, and Go Fast videos. In their statement, the SCU said that they believe that all government data regarding unidentified aerospace objects should be made available to the public to be openly investigated by the broader scientific community, provided that such data does not compromise sources or methods of data collection. A full scientific investigation of such data would be able to uncover valuable information relating to both national security and advancement of our understanding of physics, aerospace engineering, and our world. Here's to hoping somebody listens someday and releases that footage. Look, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. But people in power really need to stop being so cagey about what they release. They really don't release information unless they're forced to. And while I hate sounding like a broken record, they need to do better. Looks like aliens really like human airports, so here we go again. At around 4:15 p.m. on November 7th of 2006, federal authorities at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport received a report that a group of 12 airport employees were witnessing a metallic saucer-shaped craft hovering over gate C-17. The object was first spotted by a ramp employee who was pushing back United Airlines Flight 446, which was departing Chicago for Charlotte, North Carolina. The employee made the flight's crew aware of the mysterious object above their aircraft. The unknown craft was also witnessed by pilots, airline management, and mechanics. No air traffic controllers saw the object, and it didn't show up on radar. Witnesses described the object as completely silent, 6 to 24 feet in diameter, and dark gray in color. Several independent witnesses outside of the airport also saw the object. One described a disc-shaped craft hovering over the airport, stating that it wasn't clouds, which was kind of obvious, since the object kinda went right through the clouds at high velocity, leaving a clear blue hole in the cloud layer, which closed itself shortly after the events. According to the Chicago Tribune's John Hilkovich, the disc was visible for approximately 5 minutes and was seen by close to a dozen United Airlines employees, ranging from pilots to supervisors, who heard chatter on the radio and raced out to view it. Both United Airlines and the Federal Aviation Administration initially denied that they had any information on the O'Hare UFO sighting until the Chicago Tribune newspaper filed a Freedom of Information Act request. The FAA then ordered an internal review of air traffic communications tapes to comply with the Chicago Tribune request, which subsequently uncovered a call by the United supervisor to an FAA manager in the airport tower concerning the UFO sighting. Well, if I haven't made myself obvious by now, I hate cover-ups, so I'm glad the Freedom of Information request was rightfully granted. The UFO investigators have argued that the FAA's refusal to look into the incident contradicts the agency's mandate to investigate possible security breaches at American airports, such as in this case. The National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena published a 155-page report on the sighting and has called for a government inquiry and also improved energy sensing technologies, because if an airborne object can hover for several minutes over a busy airport but not be registered on radar or seen visually from the control tower, it creates a potential threat to human safety. But once again, we got a lot of witnesses, a lot of credible proof. Next up on the docket, probably my favorite credible UFO spotting ever. On November 14th of 2004, Lieutenant Alex Dietrich was piloting her FA-18 Super Hornet when she observed an oblong object hovering over the water. It leapt into motion, skimming 500 to 1,000 feet over the waves at around 500 knots. The fighter jet's onboard radar couldn't detect the object, but Alex's weapons system operator witnessed it as well. Alex has quoted her recollection as saying, like, we're trying to call out what we're seeing to each other, make sure everybody else is seeing it. It's moving so erratically and so fast that our voices, our minds, and then the radio calls that we can't keep up. This thing is going too fast. Now, here's the thing. The majority of credible modern-day UFO sightings can be credited to those that work in the Air Force, and it should be noted that military pilots are trained at spotting a lot of these things. It's a whole art. So when it comes to footage, photos from situations like this, they're pretty credible, folks. One of the other Super Hornets that launched behind Alex was Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood, who was able to capture the object on an infrared camera. It was about 40 feet long, round and smooth, and quickly received the nickname Tic-Tac. Now, we've all heard about the Tic-Tac. It is one of the most popular spottings of all time, which is why we're going to talk about it again today. So around this time, starting on November 10th to be exact, Gary Voorhees, a petty officer on the USS Princeton guided missile cruiser, had been reporting apparitions on his radar screens in the same area. So we have not one, not two, but 3 situations where it's like, something started to add up here. Now, he was triple checking his equipment before he made his report, and since he was the main technician responsible for said equipment, along with having 6 years of Navy experience at the time, he knew what he was seeing, and he said it was impossible. In just seconds, an object had dropped to the waterline from 60,000 feet, hovered, and then zipped away at high velocity, making right angle turns that were quoted as being confounding and defying gravity. This is not for you, Wicked fans. The objects returned for the next week, with Voorhees quoted as saying, "I was able to see it on the horizon during the day, during the night. It was definitely something glowing, and could I tell you what it was? Nope." Now, footage of that one did used to exist, and Gary's been able to vividly describe it, but it's since been scrubbed from the internet. So that's why we were mentioning all the things. Alrighty, I'll end today with a non-airport tale. On July 14th of 2001, drivers on the New Jersey Turnpike stopped on the highway just 15 minutes after midnight, where they marveled at the sight of strange orange and yellow lights in a V formation over the Arthur Kill Waterway between Staten Island, New York and Carteret, New Jersey. Now, the police departments over in New Jersey, specifically Lieutenant Daniel Tarrant, was one of the witnesses, as well as other metro area residents from the Throgs Neck Bridge on Long Island and Fort Lee, New Jersey, near the George Washington Bridge. Air traffic controllers initially denied that any airplanes, military jets, or space flights could have caused the mysterious lights. A National Weather Service meteorologist could find nothing in the weather to explain the lights. So, we got nothing. Luckily, when there's something strange in somebody's neighborhood, one can always call New York Strange Phenomena Investigators, or NYSBI. Apparently no Ghostbusters today, but we've got some help. This band of inquisitive minds claims to have discovered the FAA radar report from Newark International Airport on the night in question, which indicates an enormous number of airborne objects, without transponders, beginning at 10:31 p.m. and ending at 12:51 a.m. At least 15 people contacted the police department to report the strange lights, but Tarrant and other police officers are at a loss to explain just what was hovering in their skies. Now here's the thing, it's been a hot minute since this incident, and if there weren't any military folks in the air, and so many witnesses saw this, and we have visual proof of it, I'm leaning towards other. And that brings us to the end of our time, and I have half a mind to dig my Olympus camera out of retirement. I've been Alexa, your resident ookie spooky girly, and if you enjoyed my ramblings today, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more UFO chatter from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you lovely spooky people.